Hello guys, I'm basically at a point and I'm begging, pleading, I need help with my 1994 Plymouth Sundance. It's the end of August. I've been trying to get this thing fixed since June. I have had 5 mechanics, 3 shops look at it. I cannot get any consistent help on this. So let's start from the very beginning with this car. I've been trying to get it worked on, to get it running roadworthy for the past 2.5 months. I was working on it as far back as January, and I just seem to come to a point where, you know, I'm at a crossroads. So back in June on the 22nd, I called the first company out. They were a company called Your Mechanic. Basically, from what everybody said, I needed a timing belt replaced. They came out, looked at it, diagnosed it, said, yeah, your timing belt's worn, the top of the teeth are worn down. However, when I went to schedule the follow-up with them, they couldn't send anybody out where I lived who was qualified to do the work. So I ended up back and forth with them for 2 weeks just to get my money back, because then I spent another $150 to call a second mobile mechanic service out called Wrench. They sent out a guy, his name was Rick, supposedly had 30 years of experience. He was a master tech and he specialized in engine work. So he came out and looked at the car. First thing that he did it right in front of me, was he pulled on the hood latch, and while he did that, he pulled on a piece of plastic and the whole part of the lower steering wheel column cover broke off. So that was the first thing that he did. Then he looked at the car and he looked at the timing belt and he said, yeah, it looks like it needs to be replaced. However, I can't see the crankshaft moving. You might have a crankshaft issue. I would recommend you take it to a shop. I didn't have a good feeling about this guy. He didn't seem motivated. He didn't seem like he wanted to do the further diagnosis, even though I offered to pay him. So I kind of pressed Wrench, and let me make this clear. Everybody on a Peabody page said, whoa, 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 hold on there. You've got a worn timing belt. It's probably teeth that are worn down at the sprocket. Don't assume it's the crankshaft. So I pressed Wrench to come out and fix the timing belt because I still needed that done. So they sent out another technician and ended up getting quoted a higher price than what I was originally. They came out, worked on it. His name was Nick. 3-hour job. Lo and behold, teeth gone at the bottom portion of the timing belt. However, car still wouldn't start. Nick looked at it, said, looks like you might have a fuel issue. However, they didn't seem interested in doing the fuel pump, even though that's a less labor-intensive job than the timing belt. Once again, they tried to push me off to a shop. So that's when the whole thing with Firestone took place, because I don't have the luxury of towing this somewhere. If I get it towed somewhere, like in Mesa, Chandler, Gilbert, it's going to cost me probably $500 between towing it and having a diagnostic on it. So I ended up taking it to the only shop that's nearby, that's Firestone. Got it there. First thing that happened was the tow truck driver for AAA, somehow, I don't know what the hell he did, key got stuck in the ignition. Never did that before. So now we've got it at Firestone, and it's there for 2 weeks for a fuel pump job. They supposedly replaced the fuel pump not once, but twice. They supposedly replaced 2 relays. They supposedly replaced the fuel filter, and they said, we don't know what's wrong with it. 2 weeks goes by, I end up going through customer service. I end up having to have the car towed back, spend $85. I get the thing, and it's in shambles. There's parts missing, things that are wrong with it that weren't before, and people are like, well, how do you know it was the shop? Well, I know, because I know what the car looked like. I know that my trunk could open. I know I had a fuel filter on the thing. I know my battery was good. So I ended up spending another $300 just to get the shit on this thing that was there before on it. Between the tow and the battery and the fuel filter and everything, it was another $300. So one of the guys on here, bless his heart, you know, he felt bad for me. Lived in Show Low, he came out, looked at it. He from the Peabody page, he did more for me in 1 hour than Firestone did in 2 weeks. He looked at the fuel pump. It says it looks like it's not getting power. Well, I don't know why Firestone didn't check that, but he hotwired the fuel pump, got fuel going to the car. However, the car still wouldn't start. And he said, it looks like your regulator's leaking. I would recommend replacing that, tightening up your fuel lines at the fuel filter, etc., etc. So, I don't know. I can't get a hold of him. He doesn't know when he's coming back out. And I talked to 2 other guys on the Peabody page. They both said they were busy. I couldn't get them to come out and look. I offered to pay these guys too. So I put the regulator in. Lo and behold, the car after 4 years started up. However, I'm at a point where I don't trust this car enough to be able to drive it anywhere yet. Let it run. I thought maybe it was overheating. One of the guys, bless his heart, real patient with me, walked me through putting the thermostat in and everything and checking everything. And put the thermostat in, let it run. The fan was kicking on. It seemed like everything was going fine on it. And so I decided to take it to a test drive down the street. Did 2 laps. Second lap around, the car just died. Just died. Started it back up, drove it home. So I'm at a point where I don't feel comfortable with the car. I'm not a mechanic, okay? I don't know enough to... I'm at a point where I can't, you know, I don't know what to do on the diagnostic on this thing. It's fixable, but I'm just not an expert. I don't have the tools. I don't have a jack that can even lift this thing high enough to put stands under it. But I'm desperate at this point. I need help. And like I said, I'm willing to pay somebody, but I can't seem to get any consistency with anybody. You know, you get people, the shops don't want to look at it, they don't know what they're doing. But I've had no car for 2 months. I'm by myself on my own. My life's falling apart. I need help. I need help. I don't know what else I can say. I can only do so much on my own. I've done everything that I can. It's just going to be too much to get it to a shop that's halfway across town. So if anybody knows, anybody that's mobile, please let me know. Because I've got to have transportation. I've got to have some help. Please, if anybody knows, let me know. This is my grandmother's car. It was given to me and my brother when we got out of high school. He passed away in 2016. My grandmother died in 2013. My grandfather's gone. My mother passed away. It's just me. So I'm desperately trying to get this car fixed because I have not 1 but 2 junk cars. I have a Ford Focus with no transmission. So this is my only hope at this point. Somebody's got to have an answer. Somebody here in Arizona, I need help. That's all I can say.